slide release is ambidextrous on both sides. The safety is ambidextrous on both sides.
The Nintendo Zapper Ruger LCP, my Wolverine LCP2.
This is a variant of the gun that John Wick used in John Wick 1. He used a P30L, so it's a little bit longer.
But you can see the 38 Special along the top, and it looks like it did almost as much damage as the 38 Special, even though the bullet's only about half the size.
Shoot her! Yes! For science.
Oh! Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're out here on the range again with my friend Ryan, and Ryan has an AR15 that's got some customizations on it. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this is a Palmetto State Armory 16-inch upper with a Palmetto State Armory lower. It is in 5.56. It can also run 223. However, I have a conversion bolt kit in it right now by CMMG that runs 22 long rifle, which allows you to get a lot of practice in and that kind of thing for very cheap. And all you have to do is swap out the bolt and the magazine, and that's pretty much it. I also have a Strike Force 2 by Vortex, green dot, red dot on top. It has some Magpul furniture, and this is a Magpul foregrip that I added. But the thing that makes this very unique, it has a binary trigger from Franklin Armory, which means this is perfectly legal for any civilian to own in the United States, at least currently. Every time you pull the trigger, it fires. Every time you release the trigger, it fires, which by definition is what a semi-automatic firearm is under American law. But if you pull the trigger really fast... Ready?
Ready.
It would help if I loaded it. See if I got a round in. Nope. Sometimes has a hard time grabbing the first one. 1 second, please. Sorry, mag problem. What in the world?
It looked like it went in.
No, the first round just doesn't want to grab. It's cold out here. It's not nice on the springs.
Yeah, it's only about 35 degrees out right now. Pretty cold.
Well, this is the worst demonstration ever. Please hold.
I can edit all this out. So. Yeah, the magazines on that are very funky too. It's like they've got the length of the other ones, but the actual feeder is really small. All right, as you were, sir.
Okay, are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
We definitely didn't have any issues there trying to get the magazine to load. With these, the spring in there is kind of tight, so being this cold out here, it is kind of expected. But so that was one pull of the trigger. We just ran a bunch through this, so yeah, there it goes. All right.
That's awesome.
That emptied it out. So in they can be a little bit finicky. Binary triggers being what they are, these magazines being what they are. But I have been able to go through, on a given day, once we get everything lubed and warmed up and working, I've been able to go through 200 rounds, 3 minutes, easy. Just taking one mag out, putting another mag in, draw back and go. So
that's the beautiful thing about 22 ammo.
And you don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
I feel so bad after I shoot, so this binary trigger, Wes, also works when I put the 5.56 bolt in. Which means when we go, bah, 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 then you feel kind of bad about all the ammo you just spent. But it is
even on a good day, it's 50 cents a round for those.
It's cool to do once, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to go back to 22. So, but yeah, a lot of fun. Can't recommend it enough.
But the selector switch does allow you to do one shot at a time if you want to.
Semi-auto.
Which is nice.
Just like normal. Yeah, maybe we'll load up another magazine and give it another run.
So let me get this straight. You added the binary trigger to it, correct? And this, right? And then this piece right here. What is the total amount that you have sunk into this gun?
Well, the original rifle was
Did
pretty...
you buy the upper separate from the lower?
I did.
Okay.
And then drop those on. That was probably $6. This scope, or this red dot, is about $2. Then the foregrip was $15, and the bolt was $100 something, but I got some magazines with it, and then the binary trigger was about $250. So I'm probably, this gun is probably worth about $1,200-$1,500, which for what it can do, I'm super happy. It's the most
that's pretty
utilitarian
awesome.
rifle that I have. I'm actually working on getting another bolt carrier group and stuff for it, so I can fire 9mm out of it. So anyway, a lot of fun. Can't recommend it highly enough. Palmetto State Armory is rad. Also, Palmetto State Armory, if you want to send us ammunition, I would be happy to tout your products. Because I did buy everything on here except for the foregrip from Palmetto. I got this from Brownells.
Even the trigger?
Even the trigger. But I got this
now,
from
how
Brownells.
long did it take you to put the trigger in?
About 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
And
super easy.
what about swapping the bolt?
Takes about 10 seconds.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
that
all
is
modular.
Pretty
It's
darn
super
cool.
easy.
Yeah.
But I did get this foregrip from Brownells. So Brownells, if you were looking for another person that you would like to shoot stuff on, we would love to help you out.
Now, for the sticklers watching this video, all one of you out there that aren't fond of AR-15s, can you tell us something about the benefits of owning an AR-15?
Here's the thing. An AR-15 it's the most popular rifle in America for a reason, and it's not to be scary. It is the fact that it's just very utilitarian. In a difficult situation where society isn't working maybe the way that it should, it can be used for self-defense. It can be used in close quarters, long range. It can be used for hunting. But honestly, I just use it for sport and for fun. And I know that there have been a lot of terrible things that people have done with AR-15s, but they could have just as easily done it with any other semi-automatic firearm. You could do it with a Ruger 1022, which is, I mean, this shoots a .223 size bullet. The Ruger 1022 shoots a .22 size bullet. And you can, if somebody wants to hurt people, they're going to hurt people. This is a good all-around workhorse of a rifle that has gained a reputation maybe it doesn't deserve. The reason for the Second Amendment in the United States Constitution is not for sport, it is not for hunting, it is not even for self-defense. The purpose of the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution is to provide the people with the means to rise up against tyranny. If we were ever in another situation like we had with King George back in 1776, our founding fathers wanted us to be able to resist a tyrannical government. If we ever got to that place, I mean, last January 6th, we did see people try to storm the Capitol. If we had someone who named himself King of America and we needed to rise up, some people say we're not going to be able to take on an F-16 with an AR-15. You're right, but the pilots that fly those F-16s are also our brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers and cousins. They're not going to want to bomb their own people. And frankly, a militia force has been able to rise up against a better armed government in the past. So the Second Amendment is important. It is said to be a check against tyranny, and that's why we support it. And that's ultimately what, aside from sporting, aside from hunting, aside from self-defense, something like this is helpful for. It somebody in the government trying to trash or trying to make life difficult for the American people would not go well if they want to be named king or dictator of America. And that's because of the Second Amendment, stuff like this. So,
a lot of people who tout the AR-15 say if they could own only one gun,
yeah,
it would be an AR-15. Would you agree with that statement?
We talking rifle? If we're talking rifle,
gun
yes.
period.
Gun period. This is probably, probably yeah. Because here's the thing, with an AR lower, this is a modular gun. It comes apart into basically two main pieces. The top comes off, and you just have the bottom. With the bottom, I could put a 410 shotgun shell upper on this and have a shotgun. I could put a 9mm upper on this and basically have a short barrel rifle or a pistol. I could do a lot with this.
Wow. Okay.
You can keep swapping out calibers, swapping out bolts, and it's semi-automatic. It's a good platform. There's readily available replacement parts. If something breaks, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. I've been on the fence about buying an
concealable
AR-15.
as a pistol.
Yeah, that's true. But I've been on the fence about buying an AR-15 for a long time, but everyone keeps saying, based on my research anyway, that you need to get one, you need to get one, you need to get one. So I did buy one a little while ago, and we'll probably be doing a review on that at some point. But I wanted somebody out today that already had some experience with an AR-15 and already had one basically built the way that they wanted it, because mine is basically just out of the box. So the only thing I've done with it is I put a red dot on it. That was it. This one is pretty freaking amazing.
The two reasons I have this, one, the main reason I have most of my guns, I'm a sportsman and I like target shooting. It's one of my favorite hobbies. It has everything to do with the science of hitting the gong from way too far away, and that's enjoyable for me. I do have it in the event of, needing to protect myself, family, and others, because it's a good all around workaround. If we had an invasion from a foreign nation or tyranny or something, this would probably be what I grab.
Yeah.
So.
And based on what you've just explained to me, as far as its flexibility in being able to do all sorts of different things, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. If I had to go out and run out in the woods, I could hunt with this. I could do pretty much whatever I need to.
Yeah, so. That's pretty cool.
But I also, to those out there who have been affected by public shootings and that kind of thing, I also understand your reticence. Truth is, I'm of the belief that bad people are always going to find a way to do bad things. And this has been the weapon of choice. If it wasn't this, it would be this. If it wasn't this, it would, and we just go down the line, you get rid of guns, it'll be something else. So.
Okay. Well, that was well spoken. Back to the review.
Yeah, and we'll cut here because I'm going to go reload some mags.
Okay. All right. We got several more magazines loaded up. That actually took a little bit because the 22s are so skinny it's hard to get them into the mags here. But Ryan had a loader and I didn't, so he loaded 3 and I loaded 1.
Yeah, so like I said, this can be finicky, but once you get it to run, it runs really smooth. I just, off camera, went through a magazine with no issues. So now that the camera's on, of course issues are going to happen.
Of course.
But give you a little taste of kind of how this works.
It's so cool.
This thing is a lot of fun, and because it's 22, it's extremely controllable.
Yeah, there's like 0 kick. It's amazing. There's more kick in an airsoft gun, I think.
Those of you who own semi-automatic 22s, you know 22s are jam-o-matics, no matter what caliber
no doubt.
they're in. So this one, I've had to baby a bit to get it to run okay, but occasionally I'll get those are usually light primer strikes, is why they don't go off. Like that one right there is a light primer. And that was 100 rounds.
Oh, jeez.
And because, 100 rounds. And because
that's why you get these.
That's what we just, I have 4 more of those at home, and actually it's a shame we weren't shooting in a week or two. I just ordered a drum magazine for this, a whole 50.
Jeez.
So anyways, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and switch out the bolt so that this ceases to be a 22, and it'll actually become a 223 556.
Yeah. Sadly, I guess we can't do that on camera because YouTube's got a problem with that. But,
but if YouTube theoretically didn't have a problem with it, all you'd have to do is push this here, pull this here, and then slide the new one in, and that's all it takes. We'll be back in just a second.
Okay, so we got the bolt replaced, and we are ready to shoot again. Now we got the 556 ammo in there with some different magazines, so this should be much more reliable than it was previously, correct?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, thought so.
Yeah. 22 is fun, but it's really underpowered, so sometimes has a hard time cycling bolts and stuff like that.
Now, tell the audience what you just told me about not shooting the...
You don't want to shoot the steel up close, you can damage the steel, or these are moving so fast that, I mean, we'd probably be okay, but we might take some ricochet. So I don't feel like taking any copper jackets today.
Right. So those ones right there we're not going to shoot. We're going to shoot the ones behind that, the orange ones, yes?
Yeah. I'm going to shoot the ones on the other side.
Oh, way over there.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, easy. With an AR, that's easy. Okay. Pistols, it's a challenge.
Let me zoom in on that first. Tell me which one you're going to be shooting at.
Well, we normally have gongs hanging on that railing up there. We've shot it enough times that they've all fallen off, and we need to repair it.
Yeah, I'm only seeing one little
So there's that little orange one to the left that I'm be aiming for.
Okay. The one that I hit earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Little high.
A little high?
Geez, that thing's noisy.
And this is also, I was telling Wes, this bolt has been sitting in the bag on my, for my AR for months. So everything is dry. So I might have to stop and lube a few times before it runs smooth. As I was saying, this cold is killer, man.
Little high. Little high.
That was a hit.
Yeah, I think you hit it. Just a hair high. Same. Little high still. There, you got it. In fact, you turned it backwards.
So, funny story, this is sighted for the 22. The scope is not sighted for
Well, I mean, how far away is that, do you think?
40 yards.
40 yards, yeah.
Yeah. We could probably shoot those up close ones, but I'm not going to risk it. What I will do, however, safety, and I'm going to go set up what remains of that pineapple.
The noise level increased by quite a bit when you switched to 5.56. How does the kick compare?
That's not much more.
That thing is very noisy when it's shooting 5.56. Boy,
But the 5.56 is still a 22 caliber round. It's just slightly larger. Not by much. It's all the powder.
Okay. Whoa! I just barely panned the camo over there to catch that in time.
I'm going to go set up what remains of that pineapple again.
That was almost as good as the Desert Eagle.
The bullets move fast, Wes.
Holy smokes. Here, hold that up real quick. Yeah, not much left, yeah.
I have a lovely bunch of coconuts. All right. Safety off. Oh, that was way high, Ryan.
Hold on. I'm going to zoom in on the fruit. All right, go for it.
That spaghetti squash is taking it like a champ.
You got it on that one. Oh, nice.
It's going to bits.
Nice. And they're all dead.
Hey, last bullet. Are you ready, Wes?
Sure. Now, just from here, it seemed like that was doing just as much damage as the Desert Eagle was. Would you say that's a fair argument?
These bullets are moving fast, man. The thing about this bullet, it's a small bullet, it's moving fast, so it has a lot of penetration. The other one transfers a lot of, the Desert Eagle round transfers a lot of force because it's still moving fast, but it's a much larger round.
Okay.
Physics.
Just based on your shooting experience so far, when it comes purely to demolishing things out there, would you go with this gun or the Desert Eagle?
Shotgun. If I want to break stuff.
Well, I'm talking just these two.
Probably this. It's easier to shoot.
We got that right.
There I was just having some fun. I wasn't really zeroing.
Right.
It was just bang. You get something like this in your hands, and you don't really want to go, okay, and 3, 2, 1, bang. You want to go, bang, bang, bang. You know, it's a lot of fun. So, anyway, all right, Wes is going to be up, and cool. I've actually got another special target for you, Wes.
Oh, boy. Window?
No. That's the dust cover. So once you pull that back, that's where the shells eject from.
Okay, what's going on with this? Why is it not? Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so it should be hot now?
Should be.
Okay.
So Wes is aiming for
the cabbage.
This cabbagio. Oh, we need to hold on. Zoom. Get there. Okay.
Oh, the safety's on.
Yeah, safety first. Yay. Yeah! Shoot it again. Little high. Little high. Okay, now pause. Switch to binary. You got to do it once.
I don't think there's enough left to shoot binary. Did I see that right? The whole thing just kind of went...
Yeah. Let it rip.
Okay.
Binary triggers are fun. Back to semi.
No, I'm going to put the safety back on it.
Oh.
Okay, so a couple things. Obviously, there's a very significant difference in the kick. My friend Terry told me when I bought my AR-15 that it was like a whisper, like you wouldn't even feel it. I disagree.
Compared to if you're running like a Mosin Nagant or something, absolutely. Like a hunting round rifle, absolutely. This is a whisper by comparison, but it's not a 22.
Yeah, I've heard that the 223 kicks less. Is that true?
Not by much. It's pretty
So
negligible.
it's about the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty negligible.
It does have a nice trigger on it. I felt like I had control when I was doing single shots. When I was starting to do the binary trigger, I felt like it was getting away from me. It's also a little bit harder for me to hold it because the grip out front here is a little bit farther away from me than I would like. I would like it probably somewhere right about here.
Which is up to the nice thing about this M-LOK system. So anywhere that you see one of these little holes along here, you could put the grip. You could put it all the way up to here if you want.
Yeah, it's just...
So that's just a preference thing.
It's just not quite adjusted to where I would put it if it was
Yeah.
my gun. So I feel like I'm kind of overextending with my offhand. But I could probably adjust for that by collapsing the... Yeah, that's actually much better. Just collapse the stock a little bit. Yeah. See, when I play airsoft, I like my guns really small and compact. But that's because I play CQB. I'm not looking for long distance shooting or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like when it's in here, like maybe just one out. Yeah, I feel like that's a lot more my jam right there.
You just got to be sure to push the scope back plenty when you rail it up on yours because that'll hit you in the eye if you get too close.
Oh, the scope?
Could.
I feel like it's still quite a ways.
I think you're okay, but what I'm saying is when you set up yours, however you set it up, you got to be mindful of how far away the scope is or it'll clack you in the face.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind because I'm pretty sure my scope is right about where yours is, I think. Because mine has these flip-up sights on mine as well. And I think I pretty much put it somewhere right in here. Let me see if I can hit it one more time. I think I did.
You made coleslaw, my friend.
Yeah, I like it. It does have more kick than I was expecting just because of what my friend told me. It is a very manageable gun, though. I mean, I could shoot this pretty well, I think, just with a little bit more practice.
Oh, yeah.
The trigger seems really nice on it.
Yeah. Shout out to Palmetto State Armory, EPT, Enhanced Polish Trigger.
Yeah, and Ryan's got this green dot on here zeroed pretty much perfectly. It's just a matter of getting it on target and trigger control and all the usual.
Yeah, when you start reaching out past about 25, 30 yards, you can start telling the dot isn't zeroed for the 223, it's zeroed for the 22.
Maybe I can hit the gong. So if I shoot the gong that's way out there, I'm going to notice the difference then?
Probably. At least I did when I was shooting it. High left. High left.
Yeah, okay. Because that's where you were hitting too, is high left. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so because things are a little bit different.
Yep, just for the heck of it, I'm going to aim low right and see what happens.
Just a tiny bit high right.
A little bit more.
tiny bit low right. You're real close.
Okay, so yeah, it is off by a fairly significant amount.
If I wanted to zero it for that, I could, but because I mostly shoot 22 out of this,
yeah,
that's where I keep it zeroed.
So just for the heck of it, you can see the spot right to the low right where the roots of the trunk kind of split.
Yep.
I'm aiming for that split.
Yep.
Right between the two roots.
And you were hitting just a little above it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is off by just a little bit, but not a lot.
If you want to zero it, you can, but if you're running 22 most of the time, I keep it there. So,
No.
Anywho.
Anyway, my first experience with an AR, I do like it. I still don't think it's really my jam. I am glad that I bought one, though, just because of all the things that Ryan explained at the beginning of this video, just how versatile it can be. I think that's a huge plus for this platform. Am I going to be shooting it a lot? No, probably not. But I am glad that I have one in the house. That's going to be my take on it. So anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and have a great day. See you in the next video.